in hour one, it's all about that Thursday night game, Vikings and Rams. Who gets the blame for Sam Darnold's Vikings stubbing their toe against L.A.? What happened to the Brian Flores Minnesota defense, and how does this game change things for Sean McVay and the Rams? We'll talk all about all that and more. Have a wonderful Friday. Don't forget, TV show, Fifth Hour Podcast, Benny versus the Penny on TV. Here it is, hour one. You really can, once again, say it with me now, ram it all day and ram it all night. Welcome in the beginning of another night of the Ben Maller Show. We are in the air everywhere as we take up bandwidth and get down and dirty, coast to coast, border to border, and beyond on the vast and hypnotically powerful microphones of FSR emanating live from the seat high atop. Do it live! The catbird seat. We're broadcasting live from the TireRack.com studios. TireRack.com will help you get there. An unmatched selection, fast free shipping, free road hazard protection, and over 10,000 recommended installers. Dad Gummit, who has 10,000 aliases like Sir Scratch Off, and he's had a bunch of other names, but he likes that number 10,000. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be. Our lead this hour from SoCal, Sofa Stadium, as our friend Helmet Man calls it, better known to everyone else as SoFi Stadium, in the hood in Inglewood. That was the ballroom for the Pigskin Soiree, a dance party that kicked off week number 8 of the NFL season. Justin Jefferson and the big, bad Minnesota Vikings. Off to that great start. They did lose back on Sunday to the Lions, but trying to get back in the win column. A short week, and Justin Jefferson going against Cooper Kupp. Remember him? Yeah, he used to be good, and now he's playing again. He hadn't played in some time, but he's back, and you had Al Michaels driving down from Brentwood down the 405 over to Inglewood and call the game. Kirk Herbstreit flew in, and they had the call on Amazon. Now, I'm not sure if you watched this game or not. There wasn't really much else to watch, so maybe you watched nothing. I don't know. But we watched, so you would not have to. And Cooper Kupp delivered as he had a touchdown in his return, and Puka Nacua also played, and he didn't get in the end zone, but he had 106 yards on 7 catches, and the Rams surprised the Vikings 30-20 the final in the Thursday night game. Matthew Stafford, his name in trade rumors the last couple of days, 279 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He had the obligatory interception, and the Rams get out of last place in the NFC West. They are 3-4 on the season, as they're a game under 500. A terrible Ram team, very similar to last year, got off to a bad start. Now they're working their way back into contention. Or are they working their way back into contention? So the better story, though, is in the losing locker room. The previous unbeaten Vikings have now lost 2 games in the span of a couple of days. So let us discuss the question: who gets the blame for Sam Darnold's Vikings stumbling and bumbling and stubbing their toe against the Rams? So I've got clock, weather forecast, and remote control. And we will tie all of these things together, and we are going to make a piñata, which is what the Vikings were in this game, a piñata, and the Rams were at the kids' had the baseball bat at the kids' party. They were swinging away. All right, so to answer the question, we love playing the blame game. Who gets the blame, Juicy Lucy, for Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings? Well, the Viking ship, I studied the Vikings when I was in school. The Viking ship would stink from the quarterback down. You read that in all the educational books from the quarterback down. So we'll start with Sam Darnold, who came out, if you saw the beginning of the game, and he was weaving magic at the beginning of the game. It looked like he was back at San Clemente High School in the OC, or at USC taking on Oregon State or Stanford, the way that Darnold was just torching the Ram defense, cooking with gas in the first quarter. Now, he finished with 97 yards in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And I had people that I know in my circle who are, I call them a-holes. They're called trolls. And they were texting me as I was enjoying the game. And they were trying to bust my balls that Sam Darnold blows, or the Rams blow, and Darnold's great, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so something happened, though. And I know when it happened. I don't know why it happened. I'm not sure how it happened. But it happened at the end of the first intermission. The first intermission, that is when Sam Darnold became punch the clock guy. And he just punched the clock. And it was a minimum day. A minimum day for Sam Darnold. Now, how do we know it's a minimum day? Because Darnold was the Jets version of Sam Darnold the rest of the game. Now, what do I mean by that? He sucked at a time you could not suck. He did the bare minimum. The Vikings only scored 6 points, a couple of field goals after that first quarter onslaught. And the evidence is overwhelming. It's direct evidence. Darnold attempted 17 passes after the first quarter, final 45 minutes of the game. He was 10 of 17, no touchdowns, no interceptions, a passer rating of 86.1. And if you look at the last 3 weeks, and Sam Darnold now, the numbers have not been there. They have not been there, and this is a spot for the Vikings. I know it's a short week, but trust me, I watch every Ram game, and the Rams have a bunch of matadors on defense. Ole, 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 ole. 25th in scoring defense coming into this game. 26th in total defense. And they bottled up the Vikings after the first quarter. That should not happen. I'm happy it did, but that should not happen. Now, on the other hand, as we continue to unravel what took place in this game, what the hell happened to Brian Flores and the Viking defense? Statistically, you handicap a game like this, and in many key defensive categories, the Vikings had a top 10 defense. In some categories, they had a top 5 defense statistically coming into this game. Well, what happened was a shot to the solar plexus, a gut punch, because the Rams got their guys back, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And Minnesota, they had the Island Life Blues. Short week, travel, all the excuses, woe is me. They were the B word, bedraggled is what they were, right? Short week, weather forecast has changed. The magic wand has been lost in Minnesota, and they are right now, if you look at the weather forecast in the Twin Cities for the Vikings, there's a lot of purple haze over the Vikings. They were rattled. It was a slack-jawed performance, 9 penalties, and the Rams ended up getting extra 5 first downs by penalty. Now, some of you seem convinced that this is all rigged and that the NFL wanted the Rams to win and the Vikings to lose. And we'll get to this more later. I'm not going to get to it right now, but the face mask call, the Vikings were down by 8. Sam Darnold was clearly, one of the Ram players tackled him in the end zone for a safety, but it was always a face mask penalty that the 3 blind referees did not see. But that would not, if you think Sam Darnold was going to lead the Vikings down after sucking for the entire rest of the game and not only get a touchdown, but then a 2-point conversion, you are bonkers, okay? You're a loser. You're a loser. But to me, the story here is the Viking defense. The Rams got their guys back, and that was like a bad Navy. They gave up yards by land, by air, and by sea. Kyron Williams, who's a really good running back, the Rams got him in the middle rounds out of Notre Dame, 97 yards on the ground. Matthew Stafford averaged over 8 yards per pass attempt. Oh, he did have an interception, but he always has one. It was an all-around frazzled effort by Minnesota. Now, the other side, how does this win change things for Sean McVay and the Rams? So this is a massive, I don't think we can understate this, and I don't want to be the shock jock, and why would I want to be that? Those guys get paid a lot of money. I don't. But here's my position on this, okay? The Rams, how does this win change things for Sean McVay's Rams? They grab the remote control, okay? They grab the imaginary remote control, and they hit the pause button. They pause live TV is what they're doing, okay? Because here's why. We are 11 days away from the musical chairs stopping, the game of musical chairs and the musical stop in 11 days. That's the trade deadline, right? The Rams in this game look like a legit NFC contender. They had Cooper Kupp, they had Puka Nacua. And this sets up the showdown in Seattle. Week 9. If the Rams can muster up a win over a pretty mediocre Seattle team and get back to 500, then the move here for the Rams would be to abstain from trading Cooper Kupp or Matthew Stafford or any of these guys. You never throw away a season, especially not now. Especially not now. If you look out at the Serengeti in the NFC and all the wide open land there, the 49ers are bleary-eyed and they're weather-beaten. The Vikings appear to be bushwhacked, or should I say Darnold-whacked, the last couple of games. Seattle's got Geno Smith, too. Any team with Geno Smith you cannot take seriously. The Eagles, you have to say there's something there, but they still have a glitch. The Falcons, you're not really feeling it because of Kirk Cousins. And the Packers, okay, maybe the Packers, but you feel like there's still some fungus there on the cheese. There's still something rotting with the Packers. It is the Ben Maller Show. If you want to comment on any of this, you are more than welcome to join us. The lines are wide open at 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Also on the X machine, at Ben Maller. That is at Ben Maller. If you want to be part of the radio program, you can join us there and scream and shout and dance all about and knock yourself out